This is Boo! And today, his brand new barbershop is finally packed with customers. There's just one tiny problem. One barber never showed up. The next client is late. Two more came early, and the booking app somehow put two people in the same chair. Boo looks at the empty station and reaches for the clippers. That's the look that usually comes right before an insurance claim. No, Boo, you are not a licensed barber.
Boo?
So how did 4 shiny chairs, a $39 haircut, and one genius calculation become a $116,000 business? Three months earlier, Boo still believed hair grew automatically, so money should too. A haircut costs $39, 4 chairs, 10 clients per chair, 26 working days. Boo hits equals $40,560 a month. He has not even brushed the hair off his shirt, and he has already named himself CEO of the head industry.
Baba, Boo business!
But $40,000 is not profit. It is perfect revenue at almost perfect occupancy. It ignores rent, renovation, wages, empty hours, cancellations, fees, towels, supplies, and nightly cleaning. And there is a bigger problem. Customers do not return to a chair. They return to the barber they trust before a wedding, a job interview, or a first date. So Boo first needs to know who will walk through his door. On Friday evening, every barbershop looks like a gold mine. Boo comes back Tuesday at 2 in the afternoon. Now the chairs are empty. He counts nearby competitors, checks prices, reviews, open appointments, homes, offices, parking, and transit. A Saturday line is not demand. Demand is the number of people who return all week. So the next morning, Boo takes his coffee outside and counts ordinary life. Commuters at the bus stop, parents walking home, office workers hunting for lunch, and cars turning into the lot. A neighborhood is not a pin on a map. It is a repeating pattern of people. The cheaper address looks generous on paper. In person, Boo circles a tire garage, waves at a delivery truck, passes a dumpster, and still misses the entrance. Every confused turn is friction a client must tolerate before paying for a haircut.
Buka?
Across town, the expensive storefront sits beside homes, offices, parking, and transit. The door is visible from the sidewalk. The windows advertise the room all day. Boo pays more rent, but buys access, convenience, and a chance to be remembered. That evening, Boo eats dinner at the kitchen table with 3 lease folders and 1 calculator. He compares rent, visibility, parking, and foot traffic. Then he tests a bad month, not a perfect one. Can the shop survive slow Tuesdays, payroll, utilities, and a delayed opening? A lease is not won by choosing the smallest number. It is won by choosing the location whose traffic can reliably support the room. The preferred space is still only an empty shell. Boo walks it with a specialist before signing. They trace water to the wash sink, power to every station, bright lighting above each chair, a safe floor, clean and used towel storage, and an accessible path from the entrance. Then the wall opens. Old plumbing bends the wrong way, electrical capacity is smaller than promised, and ventilation needs work. None of it is glamorous, but all of it changes the build-out price. Boo asks for written estimates, permit responsibilities, and landlord approvals before a long lease turns surprise repairs into his private hobby. Next comes a normal entrepreneurial adventure. Fluorescent lights, a numbered ticket, and forms that request the same address 3 different ways. Boo follows the real sequence: business registration, permitted use, construction approval, signage, insurance, sanitation, accessibility, and inspection. Exact names and costs change by city and state. The principal does not. The owner can manage the shop and calendar, but anyone cutting hair must hold the license required where the business operates. While approvals move, Boo becomes part owner, part courier, and part broom operator. He carries boxes, checks deliveries, sweeps, and eats lunch on a paint bucket, while the crew runs plumbing, power, lights, walls, and flooring. Progress is not one magical before and after reveal. It is a month of small decisions that protect the schedule and the cash reserve. When a worker finds a problem, Boo updates the budget before approving the fix.
Baru, Raki, Mova.
Now the room meets the numbers: lease and deposit, plans and permits, construction, chairs and mirrors, wash sink, tools, point of sale, signage, and working cash. The reserve stays untouched for slow weeks and opening surprises. Boo's plan reaches $116,000 before the first haircut. Not a national average, but a defensible starting budget. 4 chairs do not make a team. 4 reliable barbers do. Boo interviews for skill, speed, sanitation, and the harder thing to photograph, showing up on time. One candidate makes a perfect fade but arrives late. Another works slower, remembers every client, and already brings repeat bookings. Ahem. The portfolio matters. The Saturday calendar matters more.
Mo kiva sana.
Boo kine.
Boo chooses an employee model because he wants one service standard, one calendar, and one customer experience. Classification follows the real working relationship, not a clever label on a contract. For barbers, 32 hours a week at $20 an hour create about $11,000 in monthly wages. Add roughly 15% for payroll taxes and related burden. Ha! The chairs now cost $12,750 a month before Boo pays himself. So training is not decoration. It protects time, quality, and return visits.
Raki sato.
Ra buva.
Now Boo discovers that a chair does not sell haircuts. The calendar sells 45-minute promises. And promises collide when a client is late, clippers are still warm, towels are missing, or lunch exists only as a distant memory. Evenings and Saturdays fill first. Quiet weekday mornings must carry training, cleaning, and flexible appointments. Reminders reduce forgotten visits. A small deposit discourages casual no-shows. A clear cancellation rule protects the barber without punishing a good client for one bad day. The goal is not a calendar packed edge to edge. It is a calendar that can survive real people.
Na seto kiva.
La ri to va sa.
Opening morning arrives with clean mirrors, sharp tools, 4 stations, and a line outside the door. Boo checks the towels twice, the point of sale 3 times, and the front window approximately 17 times. Even the balloon has found a way to argue with the barber pole. For 10 glorious minutes, the plan looks perfectly organized.
Lava busa.
Then real life enters. One client is late, the next is early. A walk-in wants a chair now. The phone rings while the card reader thinks about its feelings, and the clean towel stack becomes a very small mountain. And Barber 4 does not show up. Not late, not parking, gone. Boo cannot rescue the schedule with a pair of clippers, so the owner finally gets the job description nobody printed. Tell the truth, move appointments, protect the waiting clients, and keep the room calm.
Toki mona. Raba busa kiva.
The missing barber is not the whole emergency. The broken promise to every waiting client is. Boo calls the affected guests, explains the delay, offers a realistic new time, and gives the team 1 cue instead of 3 competing stories. The card reader still wants an update, the dryer still owns the clean towels, and one walk-in still believes eye contact is a reservation. But the room settles when the owner tells the truth, protects the next appointment, and writes down what failed. Chaos becomes useful only after it becomes a process.
Toki mona. Busa kiva la ri.
Now the money can answer a cleaner question. What does one completed visit actually contribute? The average shop ticket in Boo's model is $39. Tips belong to the barber and stay outside store revenue. The counter reaches $39, then about $3 leave for card fees, consumables, and small variable costs. Click, snip, towel, receipt, money has excellent exits. $36 remains to pay for the room, the team, utilities, insurance, software, cleaning, maintenance, and eventually Boo. One visit does not create $39 of profit. It creates $36 of contribution.
Sato riva.
Tori saki.
Monthly payroll for 4 barbers is about $12,750. Rent and occupancy, utilities, laundry, insurance, software, marketing, cleaning, maintenance, and equipment reserve add another $7,800. The fixed cost counter stops at $20,550 before the owner receives a salary. Divide that by $36 per visit, and the shop needs about 571 completed visits each month. Across 26 working days, that is almost 22 clients every day just to keep the operating system at 0. The mirrors may sparkle, the bank account remains emotionally neutral.
Mori Buna?
But break even without paying Boo hides the price of ownership. Add $5,000 for the person carrying the risk, answering the phone, fixing the schedule, and checking the lock at night. The target rises to $25,550. At $36 of contribution per visit, the monthly counter must reach about 710 visits. That means 27.3 clients per working day. Ha! 28 customers can fill the room, exhaust the towels, and still leave almost no cushion. Busy is a picture. Resilient is what remains after every bill and a fair owner paycheck.
Ra? Boo va.
First, imagine 18 clients a day. Over 26 working days, the visit counter reaches 468 and revenue reaches $18,252. Variable costs remove $1,404. Then $20,550 in fixed operating costs arrive whether the chairs were occupied or not. The shop loses about $3,702 before paying Boo. Give the owner $5,000 for the month and the whole becomes $8,702. Boo still unlocks the shop, buys groceries, answers messages at dinner, and watches savings replace missing demand. Empty time is not free inventory. It expires every 45 minutes.
Mosa Kina.
Buri. Nah.
Next, the shop serves 28 clients a day. The monthly visit counter reaches 728 and revenue climbs to $28,392. After variable costs and the same operating expenses, $5,658 remains. Pay Boo $5,000 and the final counter shows only $658. The room looked full, the staff worked hard, and the business produced less cushion than one serious repair. A clipper can survive that month. Plumbing with ambition may not. This scenario is not failure, but it is fragile. Boo needs repeat visits and fewer empty slots before a busy shop becomes a durable one.
Baru Mova.
Busa?
At 38 clients a day, the picture finally changes. 988 monthly visits create $38,532 of revenue. After variable costs, fixed operating expenses, and $5,000 for Boo, roughly $10,018 remains. That is real operating cushion. It also requires about 9.5 clients per barber every day. With 45-minute slots, each chair performs more than 7 hours of paid service before cleaning, delays, and lunch. One late arrival pushes the next. One no-show wastes a slot. One missing barber overloads the other 3. The high case is possible, but discipline creates it long before the revenue counter celebrates.
Raki Tava. Sava. Buka.
So where does durable demand come from? A good haircut creates trust. Trust earns a rebooking question. The booking triggers a reminder. The reminder protects the slot. The completed return fills the calendar again. Cause, action, result. Boo tracks rebooking rate, no-shows, revenue per available hour, and utilization by time block. Likes are pleasant, they do not pay Tuesday rent. When a client chooses the next appointment before leaving, the shop buys future certainty without another advertisement. And when the reminder prevents a forgotten visit, one tiny notification rescues 45 minutes that could never be stored for tomorrow.
Saki, la riva.
Kiva Tosa.
What would Boo do differently if the story restarted? He would find 2 strong licensed barbers before signing for 4 expensive stations. Then he would test demand in a legal shared workspace or an existing permitted shop, where local rules allow it. Not random haircuts in a garage, a real booking page, a real price, sanitation, records, and repeat visits. 2 chairs reveal whether customers return for the team or only chase an opening discount. Boo measures acquisition cost, rebooking, no-shows, revenue per available hour, and which time blocks fill without begging. The pilot spends money to learn, not money to defend a guess.
Rasa. Kitova.
Buva Suri.
Every Monday morning, Boo carries coffee to the kitchen table and reviews one ordinary week. He checks which new clients rebooked, which reminders worked, where no-shows appeared, and how much revenue each available hour produced. A weak Tuesday morning leads to a targeted offer or training block, not panic advertising across the whole city. A strong Saturday does not excuse a leaking Wednesday. Boo calls one client, adjusts one shift, orders towels, approves maintenance, and keeps the reserve separate from spending money. Small weekly corrections prevent a dramatic monthly surprise.
Sela tori va.
Only when 2 chairs fill consistently, clients return without giant discounts, and the reserve remains healthy, does Boo search for 4-chair capacity. The arrow now points from proven demand to a larger room, a larger team, and a larger cost base. Capacity follows evidence. The spreadsheet may finally celebrate under adult supervision.
Ra bukava.
A barbershop can be a strong community business because service repeats and clients attach to skilled people. It is a poor passive business for an owner who only likes cologne and the striped pole. Boo's model starts at $116,000, covers operations near 22 clients a day, and needs about 27 to include a $5,000 owner paycheck. Chairs do not make money. People return to people.
Bukivari.
Yes, Boo. Book the next visit and put the clippers away.